يا عباد الله هبوا ونداء الحق لبوا فاعبدوه مخلصين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Dear viewers, welcome to your program, Stories of Devotion. In this program, we bring missionaries, ustazis, doctors, and people who sacrifice their life for the service of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. I'm your host, Demba Ba, for this program. With me here today to discuss on this topic or on this subject matter, I have Ustaz Mashood Ahmad Munib. Ustaz Sahab, you are welcome to our program.
Jazakallah, thank you very much.
Ustaz, just to start our program, to get into our program, would like you to at least dive deeper on who is Ustaz Mashood Munib.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Mashood Ahmad Munib, as you rightly mentioned, and I'm a missionary of the MTA Muslim Jamaat. I was born in Pakistan and I grew up a bit in Pakistan. Then later on, most of my childhood I spent in the Gambia here, and I moved to the Gambia in 2007. Since then, I've been living in the Gambia here, and that's all I have as my home now. And that's my second home, and most of my years in my life I spent in the Gambia here.
Ustaz Sahab, thank you so much. But then, how did you go about your education, or tell us more about your education?
As I have mentioned that in 2005, though I started my schooling in Pakistan, and I think up to maybe grade 2, yeah, and then I moved to the Gambia here, and here I started my schooling in Pakalanding Lower Basic School. Pakalanding is a small village near Mansakonko, or Jarasoma. Jarasoma is the town, and next to it, the regional town, you can say, is Mansakonko, and near Mansakonko, we have a village called Pakalanding. I did my primary school in Pakalanding Lower Basic School, and then I finished there, went to Pakalanding Upper Basic School, which is located in Mansakonko. And from there on, I finished my grade 9 in Pakalanding Upper Basic School. Then I went to the next school. They even have a wall, Ahmadi Muslim Senior Secondary School. And I did my senior school from Mansakonko, yes. That's true. Ahmadi Muslim Senior Secondary School is also located in Mansakonko. And almost all my education, that from my primary school to upper basic and to senior school, we are all done in
the same area.
Yeah, the same area.
Okay, you're considering the fact that you finish your primary school there, your upper and then senior secondary school at that place. Then eventually you go to Jamia, you attended Jamia. But then, at what stage do you think of becoming a missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community?
You see, I was into almost debates in my senior school life. That's when I started studying about Ahmadiyya. Though since my childhood I've been given that knowledge, but I never had that interest into it. But when I went to my senior school, when I reached there, that's where the debates started with the other non-Ahmadi students, and who were my friends too. And then they will ask me some questions, I have to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I go home, ask my dad, come back and give them the answers. But finding out that whenever I give them my answer, they could not reply. Like, they had nothing in them to say. Then they will also go home, come back next day with a new argument, but not with the same topic. Always, they will just keep on shifting. Then there was a day we decided that after school we have to stay behind and we have to finish this debate because it's taking a lot of time now. So then we stayed behind, even there the same thing. Like, whenever we talk about death of Jesus, they move to another topic. No, Promised Messiah, let's talk about him. And when I start talking about Promised Messiah, Islam, they say, no, let's talk about Prophet Muhammad. Is he a last prophet or not? So things of this, like they just continuously jumping. And you know, when you start jumping, you don't understand anything. Even what you understand, you tend to, forgetting what you start from. Because sometimes when you're talking too much, you forget about what you have already mentioned, you're repeating that again. So that happened in my senior school, and that's when I At that time, I didn't decide to go to Jamia at all. I didn't plan for that. But then what happened is there was a scholar that came to the Gambia here in those years. I think it was 2014 or 2013 or 15, but it was during my senior school life. This guy came and, some questions and answers went about and people started asking, and he even attended. Then in his program, Ahmadis or Ahmadiyya topic started. And the answers he was giving, they were not true. And because they were not true, it made me to also feel like I have to go and learn and come and tell the people truth. So that scholar is the one who is saying something and it's not true. People will be thinking that it's true, but that's not true. Because even some common Muslims, so some common Gambians, even they felt that no, what this guy is saying, it's not true. Because Ahmadis, they pray. So how can you come and say they are not Ahmadis? They are not Muslims. They pray, they do their sacrifices, they do every single thing that a Muslim have to do. So how come that now they are being called that they are not Muslims? So because of that scholar, I decided that now is the time for me also to go and learn and to come back and then serve and tell people the truth.
Okay, Ustaz, that will move us. We'll move to the other the topic of the subject. When we call or we say going to Jamia, you decide to go to Jamia. But before you go to Jamia, you attend Jamia, you must have been inspired by somebody or something else. What really
inspired me, right? Really,
yes.
It was my dad. Okay. Because my dad himself is a missionary of the Jamaat. So whenever he answers the questions, you feel like that's it. There is no more argument. And because I used to go with him to the tours of different villages. Whenever he was going, he will take me along. So I'll move with him from one village to another. And also, met with people. And I always had that thing in me that I have to serve people. And I felt like serving best people, the best way of serving people is to become a servant. So I decided to become the servant of my religion, to be the servant of the Khilafat, the Khalifa of the time. And then that's how I, decided to go to Jamia. And I was inspired by my dad that I should go. And not only my dad, though he is the main man, but also some missionaries also of the Ahmadi Muslim Jamaat who were very righteous. And their prayers were being accepted. And when you hear that incidents of acceptance of prayer, you also feel like I should get that taste. So I then decided that I think it's high time I should go to Jamia. And I went.
So, Ustaz, going to Jamia, probably there might be some challenges. Or after you have decided now that I'm going to be a missionary, I'm going to study and become a missionary of the Ahmadi Muslim community, you might have faced some challenges. What are some of those challenges?
You see, when I reached in Jamia, the biggest thing that I lost or I felt like I'm missing from my life was my parents, my brother and my sister. Though I had already missed my relatives, meaning my uncle and my aunts, cousin, niece, all those relatives in Pakistan because I moved to the Gambia. So now I was used to of the Gambia, of the Gambian lifestyle, of the Gambian food, Gambian people. I had so many childhood friends. I had so many childhood memories with them. Living all this here, going to a new place, that was really a very hard thing for me to do. I still remember that after my few days in Jamia, in the University of the Ahmadi Muslim community, I decided that I should go back. And I called my dad. I told him, Dad, I want to come back. I can't live here. He told me, yeah, Dad, just don't worry. You have 1 month to go for your exams. After your exams, you'll get holidays. You can come back. I was happy that, okay, after that, we'll have semester holidays. I will go back. And what happened is, after that 1 month, we had our exams. After the exams finished, we started the next semester. So there was nothing like holidays. So then I said, oh, this one is gone. I'd call my dad. I said, oh, Dad, now I wanted to come. There's no holidays. And they're saying I have to wait for another 3 months, 6 months before I can come back. He said, yeah, don't worry. Just take 3 months, 6 months, then you can come back. But finally, I got the chance to come back. And then I came back and then got more energy, got boosted, and then went back. And then finally, I decided not to come back again. And then I used to come for holidays, but not like as usually. I used to miss people here. Then I started making that place as my new home. Started living with them. Now I used to miss the people, the students or my colleagues that were there in my Jamia life. I used to miss them now, and so many good memories we had with them, and that's the biggest thing I've lost now.
So that will, I mean, when you finish Jamia now, you finish your studies. You are now a missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Where are you currently working or serving, and what role are you assigned to do?
For right now, I'm assigned two duties. One is I'm a field missionary, meaning I work and work to look into the teachings of the students, especially teaching them Holy Quran, teaching them Salat, the Muslim prayer book, and teaching them all the basics of Islam. The second thing I do, or the second thing I'm assigned to do, is I am also the Secretary Namuwain for MKA, Majlis Qudamul Ahmadiyya, The Gambia, and there in that department I have to work that previous 3 years, all the new converts that we are getting into the Jamaat, we take good care of them, we try to nourish them, try to bring them up, try to teach them the teachings of Jamaat Ahmadiyya, try to give them evidences of the truthfulness of the Jamaat Ahmadiyya, because whenever you accept Ahmadiyya, you are going to have challenges. You are going to have challenges no matter what. How strong you are, how bitter you are still going to have challenges. And they may come in the form of jinns. As some people say, oh, this guy is losing his weight, so it's the jinns that are attacking him because he's become an Ahmadi, so now jinns have started attacking him. They may come in any form, but challenges are always there. So taking care of those people so that they don't, go back, we take good care of them. We try to help them out, try to speak to them, try to give them more motivation and give them more evidences in case they are talking to their other relatives about Ahmadiyyat and how to defend themselves. Not defending themselves with weapons, we are not talking about that, we are talking about arguments. Because Ahmadiyyat is all about love for all, hatred for none. So we don't fight with guns and bullets, we rather talk with arguments, and that's what we encourage our opponents and our other brothers to do with us.
We have becoming a missionaries or a field missionary. It requires a lot from us or from missionaries. So there might be some challenges and which may affect your daily routine or your life. Do you have any such challenges?
When God Almighty says, become my servant, then I become your friend. You understand? So when you are his servant, I think there should be no difficulties. Yes, difficulties are there, but in Allah ma'asabirin, that surely Allah is with those who are patient, who are steadfast in whatever they are doing. And these are the few verses of the Holy Quran that I always remember, that if one I just recite, that there is nothing for man for except which he strives for. Now, if you want, you can be sleeping on your bed and be comfortable as you want. But in case you don't want to be, being bitten by a snake, you need to go out and then look for that snake and kill it. What I'm trying to say is, we need to work hard. Before the difficulty come on you, you try to find a solution for it. And in case it comes, no matter, you're not perfect, if any difficulty comes, then you return to God, you talk to God, speak to Him, tell Him that, God, I'm your servant, I need your help. Because I felt it. Even not long ago, somebody asked me that, did you feel that? I told him, yes, I have felt it. I personally felt that my prayer had been accepted. And that was a really turning point for me, because yes, I do have sometimes in mind that I should not have come to this field. But when that prayer was accepted, and I got that feeling in me that no matter what, I will always stay on this and I will be steadfast with what I'm doing. So now if any difficulty comes on my way, I know somebody is there to protect me, to guide me. So I don't need to worry. I just have to report my case to God Almighty, and then He will work it out for me.
You earlier on mentioned that part of your duties or responsibilities is to train and then teach and train the Jamaat members of the area you are assigned. But how easy is that?
You see, it's really very difficult, because we have all levels of human beings, all levels, and we have all genders. We have some who are very young. You need to give them time and give them enough time for them to learn something. And there are others who are fast learners, but then they they tend to become very unserious. Then looking into different sets of groups, I really need to work hard and find a proper solution for all of them to unify, to unify them on one grounds and then work on to that. Right now what I'm mostly doing is teaching the younger ones, I'm teaching them Yasnal Quran so that they can able to read the Holy Quran by themselves. Then the other way around, the elders, what mostly we do with them is to teach them the arguments, teach them about how can you approach, and if you are asked a question, how can you answer that question? What are the answers to that question? So that's basically what we do. And the most difficult part among all this is their age differences, because there are different levels of society. So you have to be very, very working hard to talk to all of them, because the way you speak to a teacher is not the same way you have to speak to a farmer. Because a teacher will be very easy for him to understand something or to grab something from you. But for a farmer, it will take him a time. So you have to give him the examples that suits a farmer, and he can easily understand those examples. And then you give a teacher an example that he can easily understand. So that's the best way of doing it.
Ustaz, unifying people at one place or under one umbrella is very difficult. That will eventually, it is leading me to a place or at a point that I want you just to speak about Khilafat or Khilafat Ahmadiyya, just a bit.
You see, among all the Ahmadis that we see here, we are all under one umbrella. No matter what happens, that umbrella is protecting us, be it hot sunshine, be it very heavy rain, be it storms. That one umbrella is just protecting all the Ahmadis.
Be it from different background.
Be it whatsoever.
Color.
Because I never imagined in my whole life that I can come to Africa. But what brought me here was the Khalifa. The Khalifa is doing its best to unify us. Our brothers who are missing out, they have been trying their best to get a Khalifa in different communities. I'm not saying that the whole world is coming together to try, because they can never come together and do that. Because Sunni will not agree with Shia, Shia will not agree with Sunni. So we'll have that problem. But in their own groups, they try to find a leader. But the problem is, even that finding the leader, they still have some arguments on and jealousy about that. But for us, our Khalifa, perfect. Because he is chosen by God. We do not get anything like votings that we do, like the politicians, that you go around and do your campaign for your Khalifaship. No, it's chosen by God Almighty. It's planted by God Almighty, and He does it from wherever He wants.
We have the Nizam in Europe, the same Nizam in America, the same Nizam in Africa, Asia.
You see, it's very surprising. As being an Ahmadi Muslim, you go anywhere, you just need to look for an Ahmadiyya mosque. People are there who will take care for you.
That's the same system.
That's the same thing, same system. You can live here today, go to UK, you find it the same. You can live here today, you can go to Pakistan, you find it the same. No difference. And that's what is unity. Yes, we will have our ethnic backgrounds, and we accept those ethnic backgrounds. We have our difference of political backgrounds. Yes, we do have that. But what unifies us is when the Khalifa says this, that's it. Nothing else.
Thank you so much, Ustaz. As a missionary and also serving in the field, you might have some incidents, faith-inspiring incident, whether you met any of the khulafa of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, or you have witnessed some incidents which are inspiring indeed.
You see,
if you can share with us.
I would really like to share this incident, and it's a really very beautiful incident, and I really enjoy it whenever I mention it, and I've been mentioning this incident a lot of times. This happened last year at our trade fair that we used to have here in
the Gambia.
In the Gambia here. And some primary school girls, she was in grade 5, she came to our stall. First she just came with her friends and passed. Then later on I saw that no, they are interested in something, but they don't want to mention, they are feeling shy to mention. The second time they were passing again, just front of our stall, I called them. I said, young girls, please come here. Come in and see whatever you want to see. They say, uncle, do you have books for Quran? I said to her, yes, there are Quran books here. You can decide. There were some Quran on display. So I told her that these are Quran. You can decide whichever you want. She said to me, uncle, I want with English translation or with English language. I don't understand Arabic. I said to her that, okay, this is English Holy Quran. She held it and then said to me, uncle, I want you to sell this for me and I want to buy it. I said, okay, give me $250, $250. And she said to me that, uncle, this is what I have. She was having $10 and that was her lunch. I said to her, okay, you know what? You are my first customer for today. I will give you for free. I gave her the Holy Quran and gave her $10 back. I said, I will not keep that. That's for you. That's for your lunch. So enjoy your lunch. Among all this, the point I liked is her comment. She was standing next to her friend and said to her friend, the friend was standing next to her and said to her friend that, you know what? From today on, I will know what my teacher has been teaching me in the class. Because he's always been teaching us Arabic, Holy Quran. He never teach us English. Today we will know what he has been teaching us all these years. So that comment made me feel very comfortable, and I was very happy on that day. And even this incident, it was narrated in, it was published in Al-Fazl, the Ahmadiyya newspaper, and it was there. So, and later on I paid for that Holy Quran. It wasn't for free because the money has to go for that, and that was the minimum. And even this year again, we are going to have the trade fair, and we are expecting more people to come in, and I am hoping to see her again. So I wish she comes back, because I even gave her my contact number, so that, because she was saying that my father is a Christian and my mom is a Muslim. So in case if something went wrong, what should I do? I told her, don't worry at all. I will be here. This is my contact number. Tell them to call me. You know, like that door of preaching also opens up to the families, and then we can easily contact them.
During your stay in Jamia, do you have the chance to travel and meet Huzur, or do you have the chance to meet any person who have very good inspiring incident?
I myself met Huzur in 2015. That was the first year I started Jamia. When I came back for holidays, I went to meet Huzur for UK at UK Jalsa. And then it was really very nice sitting with the head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and then speaking to him and taking all the blessings from him. I still remember very well, Huzur asked me, so what do you do? And I told him, Huzur, I am in Jamia and I'm in Ghana. And you know, he has really a different approach to the Ghanaians and generally to the Africans. And on top of that, I was from the Ghana there, so it was even a special case now. So even Huzur held my hand, and we had a picture with him, a very nice group photo with him, and up to today we have it in our room. And even this year I went to meet him and met him again and told him about the updates that now I have completed my Jamia, and he held me by the hand, and for long we were standing together and we were in his office, and we had a lot of private discussions on issues that
very interesting discussions, yeah. As the Khalifa always guides the Jamaat members. As rightly mentioned, there are shepherds who are watching over the Jamaat members, or also the Muslims as well, yes. Or the world in general.
Yes,
you know?
World in general.
Because we have seen the contribution that he is doing when it comes to world peace, the importance of peace and other things.
Absolutely.
But then, Ustaz, we have many young stars who will like to pick up the challenge and become missionaries of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. What advice do you have for them?
I think you should decide for yourself if you're picking up this challenge. Let no one decide for you whether you should go to Jamia or whether you should sacrifice your life or not. You, as an individual, be yourself to decide. Because I feel like if someone decides for you, then the purpose, you can't fulfill it. Yes, sometimes someone can decide for you and it's still better for you, but generally, present times, I think everyone is having full knowledge of what one is doing. Meaning, if you want to become a doctor, you know what you are doing and what you're going to face. The same way, you do not need to depend on others to decide for you. You need to decide yourself, and once you have sacrificed yourself, then very simple, you need to open your ears, open your eyes, but close your mouth. That's the simple advice I have.
And that reminds me, obviously, the verse of the Holy Quran when Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was told by Allah the Almighty, وَشَاوِرُهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ, that you should consult them in matters of importance.
Yes.
فَإِذَا حَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ.
Fatawakkal Allah. I really love that verse of the Holy Quran.
When you are ready or you are determined to do that, then you put your trust to Allah the Almighty. Any final comments?
I think I will finally go with your comments. I'll just continue from there. فَإِذَا أَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Always in my own personal life, whenever I have decided something that I'm going to do this, even if I start getting two thoughts in my mind, I still say, no, I'm going with what I have decided in the first go. And that is what I will have for everybody. That once you decide something, put your trust in God Almighty, He will solve it out for you.
Jazakumullah, Ustaz Sahib. Thank you so much for your time. We indeed appreciate your effort and you accepted to be with us here in MTA International The Gambia studios. This is all we had time for. Thank you so much for your time.
Jazakallah, and it was a pleasure sitting with you and discussing on this topic.
Thank you. Dear viewers, from us here, MTA International The Gambia studios, I am your host, Dembaba. We all heard from Ustaz Mashood Ahmad Munib the importance of life devotion and what inspired him to join the field of missionary work. And stay with us until we come your way again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all.